Hi, how are ya? I've always considered fibromyalgia a disease. A disease is one that produces specific symptoms and is not a direct result of a physical injury. Well, isn't that fibromyalgia? Our symptoms are numerous. The main ones, of course, are all over muscle pain, fatigue, stiffness, and sleep problems, cognitive issues, difficulties with memory or concentration. We may also experience migraines or headaches, numbness or tingling, depression or anxiety, and many others. Our immune system protects our bodies against disease-causing organisms, and based on fibromyalgia research, the immune system is affected. So that's what I'd like to talk about today, and I'll share what I think on the subject. In traditional medicine, an autoimmune condition causes inflammation in the body. And how does that fit in with fibromyalgia? Maybe the new classification of nociplastic primary pain disorder will lead researchers to a new understanding of what fibromyalgia is. For example, is it a new type of autoimmune disorder? And I hope this next bit of information doesn't bore you to sleep. But it's important if you want to understand all the pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory processes in our bodies that are occurring in fibromyalgia. I don't understand it all, but enough that I hope I can explain it to you all. Pro-inflammatory cytokines and cytokine-related molecules have been explored in fibromyalgia patients for many years, and a few anti-inflammatory cytokines have been found to be lower in fibromyalgia. This isn't new. In 2001, interleukin-6, called IL-6, and interleukin-8 were found to be higher in fibromyalgia participants than in controls. IL-8 promotes sympathetic pain, as in the regulation of our fight or flight response, and IL-6 induces hyperalgesia, fatigue, and depression. Hyperalgesia is our increased sensitivity to feeling pain and our response to pain. Our fight or flight is our body's way of telling us that something's wrong. It's important. The problem for individuals with fibromyalgia is that our fight or flight doesn't shut off. IL-6 is thought to be an essential part of the pathophysiology of fibromyalgia. However, the precise mechanism and role of this cytokine in widespread pain associated with fibromyalgia are still being studied. So let's talk about our immune system. The purpose of IL-6 is to provide inflammation because sometimes it's necessary to fight an infection. Its purpose is also to provide immunity, and it's found in diseases. It also has an anti-inflammatory response, which should provide our bodies with an analgesic effect. This is one of the reasons that I believe our immune system is at play in fibromyalgia. IL-8 is pro-inflammatory. Its involvement in the pathogenesis and progression of a disease is certainly known. It is crucial to the inflammatory response and mediates pain. It's found in rheumatoid arthritis too. Fatigue, hyperalgesia, and allodynia, which is pain felt when it shouldn't be painful, are the result of IL-8. In another study in 2014, IL-4, IL-5, and IL-13 were found decreased in participants with fibromyalgia. IL-4 has anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties. IL-5 helps to combat pain, and IL-13 also helps to combat pain and provide analgesic properties. The result of that study states that there's a correlation of those cytokine levels that explains our pain, stress, fatigue, and depression. Neurotransmitter genes are also found to be associated with fibromyalgia. And IL-17 is found in autoimmune conditions like MS, but it's also found elevated in fibromyalgia. IL-1 beta is found in many autoimmune disorders, including inflammatory bowel disease, gout, MS, and RA. In fibromyalgia, increased levels have been found. It contributes to nociception, allodynia, and hyperalgesia. So what do I think? The data is hard to dismiss, but this is just my opinion. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I like facts, and then I make judgments on those facts. We know that once fibromyalgia starts, its amplification of pain sensitivity, abnormal pain messages are carried throughout the body, right? We talked about this in another video here. But the exact cause is unknown. But leaving it all to our trouble with stress, childhood trauma, etc., just doesn't seem to explain it all to me. That's where our immune system comes into play. We also know that pain in fibromyalgia involves neuroinflammatory processes that are triggered by mast cells and microglia. And T cells, a type of white blood cell, has also been found to take part in the orchestra of events occurring in fibromyalgia. These are all a part of the immune system and develop from stem cells in the bone marrow. T cells protect the body from infection and are believed to help fight cancer. So how can I dismiss all of that? But more importantly, what do you think? Do you feel like fibro is an autoimmune disorder? Do you believe that our immune system is at play? That our scientists and physicians are not quite yet ready to recognize fibromyalgia as something other than a disorder? Because the way they think is that it doesn't fit their definition of a disease, to some, not all, and that it doesn't fit the definition of an autoimmune disorder that mistakenly attacks the body like type 1 diabetes, SLE or RA. But isn't our body being attacked with pain and other symptoms? Sure, we learn to live with it, but it takes time and growth to get there. Coping is our best friend, but isn't it the same in other diseases? When the immune system begins misfiring signals in autoimmune diseases, the result is chronic illness. But isn't that what we experience? I'll leave that up to you. I hope you learned something. I did while researching this. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you. The data is hard to implicate.